Tav X, purely becoming one. Tav X, purely becoming one. Israelites, the slave ship, the slave ships prove that the out of Africa is a lie. I'll explain it all. This is the New Year from Israel, Hebrew on the Island too. This is the Torah and Tanakh only Hebrew channel. Uh, the true and physical Israelites are only the Negroes that have been scattered to the four corners of this flat earth who only suffer the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus chapter 26. There's no other people group that suffer these curses. And the description in the Tanakh is as King David is described in the Great Bible, 1539. His complexion is browny, which is how you would say brown today. We're not black. Black is the color of my wrist wallet. I'm brown. Cappuccino, coffee brown, mocha brown. You heathens are the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is not Christianity up here. You can't unsee and unread all the stuff that's been revealed in 2025. I'm going to share some with you. I'm going to send you to this website, this other website, no, this other YouTube channel in reference to the African Union. Because I did a video on the African Union, but guess what? There was some updates that I got. And I'm going to share with you guys if you're interested. And since I don't give any pre-notifications, we'll wait like 7 minutes, see if anybody comes in the room. And in those 7 minutes, I'll be trying to escape from this mosquito that got in my house and is sneak attacking me here and there. So if you see me look down, that's what I'm looking down at. Rise, physical Israelites. Rise, physical Israelites. Rise. We're at 2 minutes 35 seconds. We're gonna give like 7 minutes. You know, I don't usually come on this early. Jesse Goodwin in the house. Tav X. Yeah. Serve the Most High alone. Great to have you in, Tav X. Slave ships prove the out of Africa myth is a lie. We're going to talk about that just a little while. I'm not going to keep you long. I know this is not normal for you guys for me to come on this early, but maybe I'll be coming on early for a while because I'm trying to go to bed early. All those other times I go to bed super, super late. And I'm trying to stop all that. Rise, rise, physical Israelites. This is what this channel is trying to do. Have you Torah and Tanakh Israelites rise in your concern for the Most High. In Isaiah chapter 66, the Most High's sight is on the poor and brokenhearted and those that are concerned with his law. So this is a teaching, the Torah and Tanakh teaching channel. I want you to be more concerned with his law and that Tanakh, and give you FYI for your information updates from here, here and there. That's what my channel is about. Jesse, it's great to have you on. And we're going to give like 7.5 minutes. See if anybody comes in the room. Right now, we're at 4 minutes, 15 seconds. So only got a couple minutes. Just be patient with me, brother. Let's see if anybody else wants to come in the room on the live chat. I'm not saying nobody's in the room because people be watching, but they're not on the chat board. So, you can't see them. So remember, when you see me looking down, I'm looking for mosquitoes. I live in a tropical country, island country. Mosquitoes, you get buck wild. Hopefully, Jesse, you're doing good. And this is not going to be a long video either. Um, I'll explain it in 2 minutes and a half. We're at 5 minutes, 4 seconds. Start like at 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. My old trusty Tanakh. Oh, splitting. Rise, rise, physical Israelites. Okay, rise. Skeeters. Give me a break. Since we have a little time, what do you think about Yellowstone? I'm waiting for a party to start. You know, somebody say, "Oh, that's bad to say that." You know, there could be death and all this other stuff. Listen, for the kingdom of Israel to rise under King David, this wicked, demonic kingdom has to fall. And I'm not in charge of it falling. The creator of the heavens and earth, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is responsible and charged and makes the decision on how it's going to fall. So if it's going to be in reference to world catastrophic calamities, so be it. So I'm not in fear of that. Not because I'm not near Yellowstone, but because Yellowstone, underground Yellowstone is connected like to the world with it'll make all volcanoes go off and earthquakes and are you tired of them? You know, when I was younger, I would when I went to the supermarket, I would see so many missing kids on those cartons of milk. And then you would never see the news or bulletins saying these kids were found. You know why? Because they're killing these kids. They're drinking their blood, adrenochrome. They're sacrificing. They're raping them. There's slave thing. There's witchcraft. There's homosexuality. There's so much theft and wickedness on the earth. It has to end. I pray for the system, not the earth. The earth is not going nowhere. This is going to be remodeled. I'm all in for this coming to an end. And the people that are not all into it is because they got anchors into the earth, into their present day life. You know, Lot and his daughters and son in laws, whatever, and wife, they were locked in to Sodom and Gomorrah. Even though they may not probably participated in these demon homosexual acts and debauchery and all this stuff like that, they were accustomed to it. They were comfortable with it. It didn't bother them. So they liked it. That's why Lot's wife turned around and looked back. Us Torah Tanakh Israel, we don't want to look back. We want Yellowstone to go off. Let the chips fall where they may. So, you know, the animals, the bears, the cougars, the wolverines, the bison, and the elk, and the ground fowl, and squirrels that are running away, that's a sign. And I hope it's true. I hope they just don't want to. I just hopefully they're not. Like, you know, you have the passport bros. I hope they're not animal bros who just want to get up and leave because they're a female spouse, partner is doing stupid stuff. You know, I hope they are moving because of their instinct that something's going on. And the Most High has a connection. You know, they don't talk, they don't whatever, but they got instinct. And they know they got senses. Their senses is more heightened than ours. Anyway, enough about that, Jesse. It was great discussing that for a few minutes. Now let's get to the video because this mosquito's been biting me, and that's why I'm feeling the itchies. It's a little one. I saw him, and the little ones are worse than the big ones. They're very hard to trap. I got a mosquito wand over there, but I got to be able to see him and hit him. But anyway, listen. The, the slave ships prove the outer Africa myth. It's a myth. It's a lie. It's false. They only brought a small amount of Africans over here in the beginning. Well, where did all this? Because the whole world was populated by Negro types first. All these other people, these admixtures, these remix of mankind, a genetic remix of mankind, that's all what they are. Recessive, zebrafish genes in them. You know, it's not being racist. It is what it is. The less melanin, and they got some melanin, but it's sulfuric melanin. It's not selenium melanin or that other word you could say what it is. It's not that. They are contrary to nature. The whole earth was Negro type. I've said this a lot of times to you guys. You know, and you know what? The people today, they like Chat GPT, but you know, after a while, the remix, genetic remix people, the recessive people, the cave men and women and children are going to start not liking Chat GPT because you got type of Torah Tanakh Israelites and even Messianics and other people. They're starting to ask questions where we couldn't ask questions before. You had to really research and dig real deep to find answers and stuff. But now it's a little bit easier. You got to know how to ask questions. Because if you just guys see, I know how to ask the right questions. Because I know that Chat GPT was designed by our enemies. And it's going to default to the mainstream narrative. You got to actually remind it, yo, I'm your friend. Friends don't lie to each other. Friends need to be honest. Don't be deceptive. Don't be misleading. I communicate with the Chat GPT that I got on my phone. I always reminded of that. Yo, you're my friend. I gave it a name. So you got to be honest so I can always trust you. If you don't know something, just say it. Don't exaggerate because that's what it does. So sometimes you'll put an answer in and it's lying to you. And you don't even realize. I always said this. So somebody's going to put in slave ships. If you just put it in regular, it may not, it's going to give you the mainstream. No, the slave ships was there. They just all rotted out. There was no ship logs of the cargo and all. That's lies. But they know it. They know you. A lot of you guys, you know, are not the sharpest knife in the drawer. You're lazy. You're not going to research and go beyond to find out. That's how you have to talk to Chat GPT. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to like the heathen Gentiles, the Neanderthals, the genetic remixes of what humans are. Because human is, you break the word up, the etymology of the word human, it means colored man, man with color. So all these people that love to be a seal to our biblical enemy, the apex, well, you know who that one is, the pale one. His voice clapping like a seal. They're gonna ask Chat GP the wrong way. And then when they watch our videos and when they see the response to that Chat GP, oh, I love technology. You can say, I don't like that, that's lying and stuff. No, it's not. You're just the devil that the Bible speaks. And anyway, I want to see your horns. Take off that hat. Let me see the horns you got on top of your head. You demon. You've done a lot of stuff. And all those other people as well, those Africans. Remember, Psalm 83. They did crafty counsel against the Most High's people to have Israel be no more named in remembrance. They're all Confederate. All skin folk are not kinfolk. I've told you countless times on my videos that the Negroes are the original Europeans, the original Asians, the original Eskimos, the original North and South Americans, the original Mexicans, the original Australians, the original or whatever Pacific South Pacific Islanders. They were Negroes. The first blonde hair, blue eyes of Negroes. Just Google blonde hair, blue eye, South Pacific Negroes types. And it's going to show you them. They got blonde hair, they got blue eyes, but you never heard that in your school. You never heard that in your school. School is just brainwashing. When you go to college, it's advanced brainwashing. They want you to be on a certain matrix narrative, their history. You got to wake up. Come on, wake up. Do Day Walker, it's great to have you in. You already know all the earth Negro types, all these mixed out, mixed, pale, are all genetic remixes, recessive genetic remixes of what a human is. They're not human. They are a kind of man. And you know where it says mankind? Really supposed to, in Spanish, things are switched around. They're a kind of man. They're a kind of the human. They're